administration. As we were talking about, my first order of business is asking for the certification of Lebanon County's maintenance of effort, which has to do with our HAVA grant money that we had received. Basically, what it requires us is that we do spend a certain amount of money on the elections department, which I have outlined in the certification and have provided all the backup that we have met that requirement of maintenance of effort. And so I do ask that that be signed not only by at least two of the commissioners, but also by the county treasurer. And then Jamie, you also signed that as well, and I've given Jamie the original for those signatures.
All right, do I have a motion to approve the HAVA grant certification?
I will move to approve.
Right.
I'll second, and I'd just like to add that I don't know if you've ever shared the total amount. It's like almost $400,000 to conduct elections in Lebanon County. That amount is significant,
Yes,
and
it
I
is.
think the public should be aware what it does cost to run an election.
I agree.
Okay, any other comments? All right. All those in favor of approving certification of the HAVA grant indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So ordered. And now I will open the election board for the next order of business. Go ahead, Michael.
Okay, the next item would be requesting permission to publish the notice of the general primary election. By law, our election code, we are required to publish that in two local newspapers. Once again, I'm asking for that to be in the Sun out of Hummelstown and the Lebanon Daily News. The interesting part about this notice is, of course, we are up in the air as far as our congressional districts. We have been instructed by the Department of State to continue to go as normal. Unfortunately, what that means is we really don't know officially what our congressional districts will be. So what I did for the notice right now is I've listed what we were, which is the 15th and the 6th, not knowing if that will be what we'll fall back to or if we will have a new map in time. But just with the note saying that obviously with the Supreme Court decision at the time of this submission, this is what we have. Now, I did get the deadlines for both the Sun and the Lebanon Daily News, the last possible time I can change that wording. If we do get some type of final word from the Department of State, what our map will be and what district we'll be in. But those are pretty tight. Basically, for the Sun, that's going to be Monday at 10. So unless we get something here in the next day or so, we're going to probably have to go with the notice as I've written it. The Lebanon Daily News is a little bit, it's the 22nd at noon. So, you know, as if we do receive something, we can obviously make that small change. But I can tell you that at this point where we stand is that today is the last day for the Governor and the General Assembly to give the Supreme Court a new map. Know what's going to happen there.
I'm sure they'll have to put together a
Nightmare, yeah.
I would hope that happens.
Count on them to fix it.
Otherwise, the Supreme Court has said they will issue a map, which
And then
that will be an issue.
The legislature said that they will challenge
Yes,
them because
absolutely.
they're usurping their authority.
Correct.
So,
But that has been done before, right?
That I'm not sure, but I think that, well, it would be conjecture at this point. I don't want to go there. But we're told that we would have a map by the 19th of February, so that congressional, the deadlines that have been given as far as circulating petitions and things like that could go on as they have done, which is, I have those dates here if you want those, 27th of February this is congressional only, and then from the 27th of February to the 20th of March. It's actually just pushed back 2 weeks from what all of the other ones are.
okay. Well, our order of business today is to authorize Michael to advertise the election, so do I have a motion to do that?
I make a motion to advertise in the Lebanon Daily News and the Hummelstown Sun for the upcoming election.
second motion.
All right, we have a motion and a second to approve that advertising. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay.
Court has a question.
Yes.
I do have a question, not about this specific matter. Governor Wolf yesterday did not rule out the possibility of delaying the May 15th primary. Number one, have you heard that? And secondly, what does that do to your efforts if that indeed does happen?
I have not heard that, and I would be opposed to that, obviously, because for many reasons. Obviously, the biggest being is the coordination of running an election. Obviously, right now we have a date, we have recruitment of poll workers that have been given a date, we have training dates set. It's just not as simple as just
And
saying.
the expenses are huge.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, we don't know if the polling locations would be open on those days, so. You know, I would encourage everybody to contact their representatives to get this done, and whatever that would be. But you know, I hope it doesn't go down that road. That would be the worst case scenario, I believe, for all counties in the state if it does get pushed back, just because of the logistics. Does that mean we can't do it? No, it doesn't mean we can't do it. We will do what we have to do and what we're told to do, but it does become an issue of trying to logistically figure all of those different things out.
I'm not sure what his comment was exactly, but moving the entire election back would not be quite as expensive as
Correct.
a special election, just for, that would almost double the cost to have a separate election. So I'm not really sure what he's.
And the, you know, turnout for those special
Yeah.
elections is very low, so.
Yeah.
Well, his
200,000 for an election, their salaries would already be paid, but it's overtime maybe, so it might be more.
His comment was related to a reporter's question. I wasn't there, I just heard his response that he had not ruled that out. I guess it goes even further, is that I'm not sure that the state lawmakers are gonna be able to do anything about it at this point, because they're looking at a 5 o'clock deadline today. And the governor has already turned thumbs down on the Republican plan, and I don't foresee the House and Senate leadership coming up with anything different. And the Senate Majority Leader, Mr. Corman, has made it quite clear that they intend on pressing this probably to the U.S. Supreme Court again. So how late can you go?
It's a good question. You know, I don't know. I mean, obviously, if they change the date, that will change all of our deadlines as well. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. I'm hoping that something comes out of today that is beneficial for not only all of the different election offices throughout the counties, but